What's up, everybody? This is Versus Episode 6. I am JWMaher. That is Will Cohen. And we've made it to the end of another franchise. Literally, this is a first for us. We are fresh off of watching this movie as a watch party. Holy shit. Before I play the trailer, Will, how are you feeling?
Oh my God. This is the first time that I think I've actually, with one of these Jagged Edge films, have actually enjoyed a sequel more than the original.
That's not saying much, but go ahead.
It's not saying much, but this one's by kind of a wide margin. And we will go into all the details, but holy shit. There is so much to unpack here.
I'm not going to say we're recommending you watch this movie, but this is definitely one of the most unintentionally entertaining movies Jagged Edge has put out. They got that Winnie the Pooh money flowing for Dinosaur Hotel 3.
You cheated, Clarice.
Please, I'll play the game right. Please, don't kill me.
Too late. Game over.
No!
Hey, wake up. Wake up.
Group of strangers wake up in a place and no one knows how to escape?
I do apologize for bringing you here quite like this, but you would have never come here willingly. My games will either make you or break you. But if you survive, it will give you a second shot of luck.
They're watching and they're waiting for these games to unfold.
We've got some interesting players this year.
We're about to have some fun.
Hey, buddy.
That's Dinosaur Hotel 3. Let's start right at the top because we just covered Dinosaur Hotel 2. At the end of Dinosaur Hotel 2, and like if you feel like you think I'm going crazy, let me know because it's hard to reconcile these two fucking movies. Like not since Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare going into anything or anything going into Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare has there been like such a wide gap in like what the fuck is going on between Dinosaur Hotel 2 and Dinosaur Hotel 3. At the end of Dinosaur Hotel 2, we learn that the host of the show, Eddie, is like rebelling against the cabal of people that run the show. There are the millionaires that are manipulating the show, but there's also shadowy figures that run the show. He's pipe bombed the whole operation, but it is a dark web television show that people are betting on. In Dinosaur Hotel 3, it is back to a grassroots operation that is not being broadcast anywhere but closed circuit televisions within the house itself, and they are kidnapping people. No one's voluntarily going on the show anymore. Now they're just kidnapping contestants to recreate the plot of Saw 2 for the people from Eyes Wide Shut. Is that accurate?
That is about as accurate as you can get. And those are only two of the movies that they just blatantly fucking rip off here.
Yeah.
Because it's Saw 2
No matter what.
brought to you by the Eyes Wide Shut people. And a Hunger Games type scenario here because these are
it's Squid Game. It's not Hunger Game. This is Squid Game.
Oh, good point.
Because this is definitely Squid Game.
Because it's the rich basically like circle jerking themselves while watching the poor kill each other.
Yeah, so that's a Hunger Games element definitely. So and this is weird too because Will and I didn't realize this until the credits rolled. But also at the end of Dinosaur Hotel 2, Sienna survives again with her children, and then the other girl, Maya, I believe her name is, also survived. But then in the beginning of the movie, there's like a throwaway scene where another actress apparently is playing Sienna. And she's back in the game again, but all of a sudden she's cheating to win, which is not what her character did in the first two movies. And they kill her. Never mind the fact that her two shitty children actors are not in the movie anymore. Because she doesn't go anywhere without those kids. So they must be dead too. And the other girl must be dead. So they've kind of just lazily given us a clean slate to go back to this grassroots Dinosaur Hotel. It is the same building, but the building is now shot from different angles, and it's friggin' gigantic all of a sudden.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that this was shot at, the Xavier School for the Gifted. Holy hell! This is not just a compound. This is an estate.
Yeah, it's like I'm impressed. Okay, I'm going to say it. I'm impressed by this location. I don't know how Jagged Edge scored this location. I don't know what this location really is in real life. It is an impressive place, and we get to see the entire building. They're on the first floor. They're on the second floor. They're on the third floor. They're on the roof. They're on the top roof. They're in the catacombs. They're outside. They're in the barn. Like they explore the space in this movie.
Oh yeah. This is the first time that they have never wasted space, that they have rented out, to the point where they're like, okay, well, we only have 74 minutes. Well, we're just going to magically teleport people from the first floor all the way to the roof without explaining how the fuck they got there in the first place.
There's a scene where, what are these dudes' names?
Number 5.
Yeah, number 5 and number 6. Their names are Todd and I'm going to say Jim. Todd and Jim. Jim is on the third floor. He finds, you don't see him get a ladder, but he suddenly goes and he's on a ladder and he's on the roof. But the dinosaur is chasing him, and the dinosaur also can climb ladders. I didn't know they could do that. So the dinosaur comes up to the same hatch. Todd, who the scene before, Jim is talking to him, and Todd is down there. He's down there, he's yelling down
on the first floor
off the balcony to Todd on the second floor. When Jim gets to the roof, Todd is already hiding behind a chimney. I don't know how the fuck he got up there when Jim had climbed a goddamn ladder from the third floor. Not to mention, the dinosaur goes up there. And then on the roof, there is a belfry. And there's a ladder that goes up the belfry to the top of that belfry. Jim climbs the ladder. The dinosaur climbs the ladder. But when the dinosaur climbs the ladder, guess who fucking teleported again? Todd's on that fucking roof, and he stabs the dinosaur in the head with a fire. Dude, Todd. Todd should have won this whole game. Spoiler alert: Todd should have won because that motherfucker teleports. He's like Jason Takes Manhattan.
I mean, let's face it. We already have, Gladys from Portal is back again. So clearly, Todd is the portal guy. Clearly,
yes,
shooting.
He has a portal gun.
Fucking teleporting, and we just don't see it because budget.
By the way, this version of GLaDOS way better than the one from Dinosaur Hotel 1. This one has a female voice. It's logical, and spoiler alert, comes equipped with weapons. Because somebody gets shot in the fucking face by that thing, and that I was not expecting. That was great.
After this pitch, just like Mark McGuire's this thing across
Don't do it, Dawn.
I wouldn't do that if I
Fuck
were you.
yes!
the room.
Yeah, she hits the thing with a fireplace poker, and you see they actually CGI damage on the thing, which repairs itself later on. And then she just fries them. And I love the effects. When the laser hits her, her head turns into a skull for a second, and then it just turns back into her skull. She has no wounds, and she just falls over. At least we know we're still getting that quality Jagged Edge special effects in these movies. Even though, like I said, this movie unintentionally entertaining. And I'm going to give them kudos because they hired that one dude, Billy, the guy that, like, first of all, I don't even understand the hierarchy of the games, right? So I don't think Marcus Massey is playing the same character he played in Dinosaur Hotel 2, even though, because he's wearing a mask for most of the movie. Then he takes it off at the end. I don't know if we're supposed to be shocked that, oh, hey, it's Eddie, or if we're just supposed to believe this is a totally different person, even though they've made no effort to make him look different. That wasn't clear to me.
This
It's an NDA.
Right.
And, whatever. And also, in the beginning of the movie, if all the events of Dinosaur Hotel and Dinosaur Hotel 2 happened, we were clearly living in a world where everybody knew there were dinosaurs and everybody was letting the laws be broken. But in this movie, they've retconned all that because there's clearly a scene in the beginning of the movie where the dinosaur eats the first dude, Douglas, and the girl's like, I thought dinosaurs were extinct.
What the fuck is that?
The dinosaurs are extinct.
Bitch, you didn't watch Dinosaur Hotel and Dinosaur Hotel 2? You're in Dinosaur Hotel 3. Come on now. Which is like, I feel like, I don't want to give Jagged Edge advice on marketing, but like, this movie feels like it should have been Dinosaur Hotel 1 because this is done, I don't want to say it's done great, but it's done way better than Dinosaur Hotel 1.
Are we even? If it wasn't for the fact that we had Sienna getting eaten in, like in the first like 3 minutes of the film.
They don't make it clear that they don't even make it clear that that's her. But if you wait till the credits, it says it's her, which is
that's true.
Berserk.
So it's like if all they had to do was just not say that at the beginning, and they could have just passed this off as a prequel, just with the number 3 next to it, which a lot of like shitty directors, direct video sequels used to do back in like the 90s and 2000s. So all they had to do was just say that this was a prequel or call it Dinosaur Hotel Zero or something, and this would have made so much more sense.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
Yeah, I gotta say, like, I'll give them credit where credit is due. The concept was great, like the Squid Gamey concept. I mean, special effects suck, acting sucked, everything sucked.
Oh yeah.
GI sucks. It sucks across the board. But let me get back to that guy. Okay, we're talking about the hierarchy. So you have the guy you have Marcus Massey, who played Eddie, who was the host of the show in part 2. He is here wearing the shitty Mardi Gras skull mask, and he's the front man.
You may call me the front man.
He's called the front man in this movie. So, but even though he is the front man and is kind of in charge, there's still I don't know, is he a host? I don't know how you host a show that's only on closed circuit television within their own house, but he's acting like the games master from part 1.
He's definitely the MC.
He's like an MC. His name is Billy, and I don't believe for one, you could not convince me. I would bet every dollar I have that every line he says is ad-libbed. There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way nobody from Jagged Edge wrote the shit coming out of this guy's mouth, because it is funny, it is clever, and it is not something it is nothing you see in any other Jagged Edge movie.
Hiding? Oh, I do hate liars. You seem to have forgotten that there's cameras everywhere in here. There's no hiding.
He's like unnecessarily perverted towards one of the characters.
My friends call me Billy. I suppose you guys can too. And you can call me Daddy.
He says crazy shit. Like, do more of that. Just don't write scripts. But don't bring the actors from Dinosaur Hotel 2. Do more of this. Just give people concepts and let them roll with it. That guy's fucking fire. Bring him back for every goddamn movie if you can afford him at this point, because I'm sure that's the kind of talent that gets taken away from Jagged Edge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, Billy is just fucking fantastic. He comes out like looking like the hybrid of Andy Serkis and he
has Eddie Izzard vibes. He has like Eddie Izzard without the cross dressing. It's Eddie Izzard without the cross dressing. Is this?
Although he with the sequin jacket, it's very close.
Yeah,
but he comes out and he is just delivering some of the greatest lines, and then making a woman like kiss his gun because it's clearly his dick.
It's fine. Just give it. Oh, come on. There you go. Come on, just a little.
Oh, that was so nice.
And it's
That was
like
not in the script. There's
giant
no way
gun.
no way they wrote a scene where it's like kiss the gun. The kiss the gun thing, maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen in a Jagged Edge movie. I'm gonna put it maybe. It's definitely top 3.
Oh, like his timing, like this film almost became like the lowest rated Jagged Edge film that I've ever seen until Billy shows up. Now I don't know what to make of this anymore, just because like I still have to take into account all the other faults. Like everyone else is just phoning it in or reading off of cereal boxes. Somehow the special effects get worse from between Dinosaur Hotel 2 and 3. But Jesus Christ, is this guy selling ketchup to a woman with white gloves? I have never seen acting like this in any like low budget shit. This guy is just perfect.
I think Marcus Massey kills it in most of the movies he's in. This guy makes Marcus Massey look like he's not fucking acting. Like it's crazy.
Oh God!
Where did they find this guy? What is this dude's name? I don't even know they found this dude. I don't even think he's listed in. He's not even listed on the credits here on whatchamacallit, on Letterboxd. Whatever. Whoever played Billy, dude. You could do more. Like you could do so much more. I'll find out who this guy is on IMDb or something. What else? So I guess Will walk us through like the actual plot.
Okay, so the actual plot is it's basically Saw 2 rules. So all of the all eight forced competitors have some kind of issue, have some kind of like dark history
and financial issues.
Yes. This, let this be a warning to all y'all. If you have any kind of credit card debt, you deserve to be eaten and turned into dinosaur shit.
Most people, in true despair, very rarely ask for help.
But I digress. So all of them are basically chloroformed. And brought. I can only imagine if this is the continuity, they are literally shipped overseas, so there must have been a high grade chloroform, and they're just dropped in the abandoned X-Men college, and then all of a sudden they all slowly wake up, either having like red shit just like dyed with a number on their shirt. Or if they were chloroformed, not wearing a white shirt, these dicks bleached the numbers into their shirts. It's like, you motherfuckers, at least the white people can, white shirt people can actually launder that stuff, you assholes. And then all of a sudden they find out the rules of the game. The first game is, hey, you need to find a room to hide out in.
Pause. Before that is said, the 8 contestants wake up in this room and they're losing their fucking minds because they can't find a way out of the room.
Christ, these doors are fake. They've got to be. Doors we got to go through, you fucking idiot. That we're not thinking like the way they want us to think.
They're hitting the doors. There's no way out of the room. There's no way out of the room. There's no way out of the room. And then they realize it's a hotel. And there's let's just ring the bell. And then they start fighting with each other.
You'd ring the bell. That's it, right? That has to be it.
No, you ring that bell, fucking dog.
For some fucking reason. And then one girl just rings the bell. And then all of a sudden, there's an upstairs. There's a staircase they could have walked up the entire time. One of the characters who couldn't escape the room literally runs out the front door of the building, which was open the whole goddamn time.
Right.
It's Gabe from Medusa's Venom. Runs out the front door of the building. And dude, I mean, I'm gonna say something that like you even saw in the trailer. That guy is fast. He's fast. But when the dinosaur shows up, this dude who's like Marshall Falk fast stops running and lets this dinosaur literally walk up to him and eat him. Like, you were home free. Why did you stop running?
Yeah, this guy is like booking it like Forrest Gump booked running during a football game, and somehow he just stops.
Yeah.
And unless this guy unless this dinosaur eat him because plot.
Yeah, because
But yeah,
that's when the girl's like, I thought dinosaurs were extinct. I didn't watch the first 2 movies. That's not a lot.
Yeah, somehow I didn't watch the cultural phenomenon of Dinosaur Hotel from the second film. Okay.
Yeah, that show was sweeping the world in the last movie. Now it's a huge secret again.
Yeah, but going back to what John was saying, somehow during this entire time when they're fighting with each other, banging on walls, they didn't discover the staircase that was right there.
Yeah.
So they're running up, like they're all clamoring for rooms. Somehow of all of this, except for contestant number 4, every other room is occupied by 2 people who have sequential numbers. So this is easily the laziest writing that they have ever done in a Jagged Edge film.
Well,
Number 1, number 2.
Contestants 1 and 2 are
a couple.
Nobody else knows each other. 1 and 2 are a couple. 3 is the one that gets eaten. 4 is by herself. 5 and 6 are dudes. 7 and 8 are women. And 5 and 6, 7, 8 are in the rotary. But they do all this weird dramatic shit while they're finding the rooms. But there's literally no stakes to finding the room because nothing happens until.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Get in. Hey.
After. Yeah. It's so stupid.
Like they have a timer, but nothing happens. And then time elapses, and then we get into the first game, which is hide and seek. So for those of you playing at home, this is already the 3rd good film that they've ripped off.
Yeah.
And this is easily the shittiest game of hide and seek I've ever seen. No one's actually hiding.
The one girl, number 4, and we'll get back to her for real later, because everything I say about number 4 is not going to make any fucking sense when I give you the big reveal. There is a scene where her hiding is this. She is like legit like this. Like, that's not hiding. Like that's her hiding spot. She's behind a friggin' dining room table, and the dinosaur comes through, and she's legit like peeking over the edge of the table like this.
And the dinosaur keeps missing her. Like,
yeah.
The dinosaur is snapping its jaws and somehow like missing her by a nautical mile.
Yeah. Then she crawls across the room. She's behind the table, and then she crawls like, I'm gonna crawl over there, like where the dinosaur must see her. And she crawls like behind the wall cabinet thing, and then the dinosaur still doesn't get her. Then the dinosaur jumps on top of the thing, and it's a fucking raptor, so it must make a noise landing on top of the fucking thing you're hiding in. But she sticks her head out and doesn't see the dinosaur, and then she just strolls on out over to the door. And the dinosaur doesn't take this as an opportunity to eat her. The dinosaur is like, meh, and misses her.
Right.
So we have a lot of like cat and mouse drama, which we didn't have. If this was Dinosaur Hotel 1, she'd have been dead. Dinosaur Hotel 3, we got to keep it going.
Yeah, exactly. So 1 and 2 are like hiding out in what looks to be a barn, just hanging out.
They're in like a courtyard with a porta potty and a truck.
Right. And like the definitely the Darwin Awards moment where he's trying to open the truck, and instead of yanking harder, he decides he's going to think that if he hits the door inwards hard enough, it's going to pop open.
He shoulder blocks a
He
truck.
literally
like, oh,
shoulder
no.
blocks it. It's like, and like he must have done it hard, because I remember the truck rocking back and forth. It's like, dude, he did that hard.
So they run around this courtyard for like a million years until they get to like a low roof, right?
Right.
And Brandon climbs up on it. Brandon and Dawn. Brandon climbs up on the roof, which is like, the roof starts like literally like at like chest level. He's up there. She's facing the opposite way, and a raptor shows up. And it's like it's the most drawn out goddamn scene. She's like, Brandon's like, and he's like literally like trying to, he cannot figure out how a fucking roof works. He's like, oh, I'm gonna figure this out. We just gotta go up here, honey. Hang on a second.
Brandon.
I just gotta...
Brandon, shut up. Hold on for a second. I'm climbing the fucking roof. Can you see, honey? Brandon. Oh, and then he turns around, and then the fucking dinosaur is just there, like watching these two fucking idiots have an argument.
We need to go now.
For like 30 seconds. The dinosaur doesn't attack them, but then they have time to scramble up the roof and run away. It's like, dude, come on.
And this is when we get back to like what we were talking about at the beginning. This is when so actually, before I get to that, 4 gets cornered by a dinosaur. Like gets cornered by the raptor.
Yes.
And it's literally like this close to eating her, and all of a sudden a buzzer goes off. The dinosaur goes off. And then GLaDOS says, "You now have another minute to find another hiding place. You cannot use the same hiding place."
They didn't explain any of the rules beforehand, but then all of a sudden it's a multi-round hide and go seek game, and I guess that kind of makes sense with the big reveal later, because Ford wouldn't die. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Spoiler alert: she's a bad guy. Anyway. Then they reset, and the thing is, the game is supposed to go until somebody dies, but nobody dies because Todd, number 5, kills the raptor on the roof, and that ends that game when he kills the raptor. Which is weird, because like in all the other movies, like it doesn't happen that often that the dinosaurs die.
Right.
But like clearly in this movie, there's like a methodology. And I'm also like kind of pissed off that the pterodactyls only show up when it's convenient in this movie. Like people are outside a shit ton in this movie, and the pterodactyls only show up for one scene. That's bullshit.
They spend so much time on the roof and no pterodactyl, not one.
Yeah. People are outside, people are on the roof, no pterodactyls.
People are teleporting to the roof, and you can't teleport one pterodactyl. Okay.
Yeah. So they kill the raptor on the roof, and the raptor's body goes nowhere. Whatever. You never see it again. Like they kill the raptor, but the raptor's dead body does not show up on the roof after they kill it.
No.
I digress. Then Billy shows up, and he invites them to round 2, which is basically set up like if you've seen the movie Would You Rather, another movie they're ripping off, because it is now Would You Rather in the room. They're all sitting at the table, and the kiss the gun thing happens, and now it's like the weirdest game in the world. All of the players have their IMDb headshots have been printed out and taped to a board.
Yeah, that's you, and that's her. I took a long time picking these out.
And everyone there's also like a great Deer Hunter reference for no fucking reason in the movie. Like, everyone takes turns. They're blindfolded. This guy gives them his gun, and they have to shoot at the board blindfolded. They don't explain what's going to happen, but the game continues until somebody hits a picture of somebody else.
On the trigger. If you point it at me, I'll fucking kill you.
Fine. Eventually, our main girl shoots and hits the picture of somebody else. You can't tell by looking at the board whose picture has been hit because there's no bullet holes in the board. Also, mind you, behind the board are gigantic plate glass windows, and the first two people missed the board, but none of the windows behind the board are broken. So continuity.
Just play the game. Sit.
I'm gonna put that on IMDb.
Shattered glass costs money, John.
Yeah, they should have just put it in front of don't put it in front of windows. Put it in front of a wall. Then, and then they release the fucking thing that kills Nedry from Jurassic Park.
And they're commonly known as spitters, but I can't remember what their dinosaur name is.
You explain what happens while I look up the name of that dinosaur.
So, the frilly neck thing that, like, if it spits at you, like, it blinds and paralyzes you. This is just duck goosing essentially all of the other competitors.
Dilophosaurus. A Dilophosaurus.
Thank you. I knew it was a D. I just couldn't remember like which one it was. So the Dilophosaurus is duck goosing all the ones who apparently wasn't shot. Apparently,
it's a well-trained dinosaur. It's a well-trained dinosaur.
Right. So this thing apparently this thing knows which one it is, and finally it stops.
Where's it stopped? Where's it stopped? Please.
On Goose, which happens to be competitor number 6, James. Yeah. And James, like, first of all, they clearly understand. They clearly say, "Okay, no one takes off their blindfold until we tell you to." Well, James, I think knows knows that he's at the end, so he takes off his blindfold, doesn't turn around, but the thing just bites his entire head off.
Doesn't even try to get away, because immediately after the thing bites his fucking head off, Billy, the MVP of the movie, is like, "He's still hungry," and people just stand up and run out of the goddamn room. They could have done that the entire time. They could have stood up and run out of the room.
To be fair, like with Eddie / the front man was there the entire time, so we can only assume his goons, who we know throughout the film have guns, were also in the room. And Billy does say he's still hungry. This is the time to run, kids, and everyone scatters.
Oh, he's still hungry, so you might want to run for it.
Yeah.
But the dinosaur doesn't follow whatsoever.
It follows Jennifer, right? Because then there's a big scene where she's like, "Ah, ah," and then she grabs a knife and she swipes at it, like, whatever. She eventually gets away. And then after she gets away, she comes back to the lobby of the hotel and everybody's knocked out again.
Right.
And they chloroform her for the 18th time in the movie.
Oh, no time for a break. Yeah, you've got the watchers all hot and bothered.
And then we go on to game number 3, which, I mean, we're talking so long about this movie, but it's worth it because, like, these descriptions are worth it, people. Game number 3 is now Truth or Dare. But, like, now everyone's got ankle monitors that shock you, whatever, and there's a barn full of raptors that are just waiting for someone to lie. Now, spoiler alert, multiple people are caught in lies, but only one person dies. So it goes through the fact that big dude, Todd, his wife died in childbirth.
But that's not the question they ask. They ask, "Did you kill your wife?" And somehow, her dying in childbirth is him killing his wife.
I guess indirectly, yes, it is.
Is it true that you killed your wife?
What the fuck did you say?
Okay.
He did that to her, and then the main character, she killed somebody, right?
So yeah, her question is even more convoluted. It's like, well, is it true that you caused your husband to die in a car crash? And then he adds an addendum. It's like, didn't you wish that your kids would have died in the car crash instead of your husband?
Now, you consider yourself a major league fuck-up, right? I mean, aren't you glad your kids weren't in that car crash? Or do you secretly wish that they were?
It's not true. It's
And she goes, no, it's not true. Well, because the card says to, because plot, oh, that's a lie. It's like, well, no, she killed her husband, I guess. But because she said it was untrue, that's a lie, and you can't go back.
Right.
So what I gathered is that every single time that that someone lies, that the raptors get closer.
Okay, that makes more sense, I guess.
Because they were on chains themselves.
Yeah. Then they get to our famous couple, Dawn and Brandon, the roof climbing couple, and this becomes like an episode of fucking Maury all of a sudden.
Isn't it true that you... This is such a fucking cliche. Is it true that you are porking the babysitter?
Brendan.
Like, it's like, yo, I'm gonna paraphrase. It's like, yo, did you bang the babysitter, Brandon? And he's like, no, but he did. And then it's like, she's 17. You piece of shit. And so this couple that was like so in love, and this woman who was like having panic attacks the whole movie, now all of a sudden just has now she's a fucking badass. She basically throws him to the fucking raptors pretty much. And he dies, and she's like, "You piece of shit!" Like, it's like, burn in hell.
What's even more like greatly comedic about this, which like this makes this almost like what was that film that you made me watch? The Fortuitous, like
Onyx the Fortuitous. Yeah.
This is like the most Onyx the Fortuitous moment where she throws him, but he realizes he missed his mark, so he crawls towards the dinosaur.
We'll put that in here.
Enjoy hell, asshole.
Yeah, and then that game's over because somebody dies, and then we have the scene where she baseball bats GLaDOS, and GLaDOS blows her away, like because we got to start killing these people.
Right.
Then, so we're down to just what now? So now we're down to the final three people, where it's the girl. I forget what the bad girl's name is. It's Jennifer, the main girl. Oh no, the other girl too. Amanda's there too. Jennifer and Amanda, her friend number 8. Todd, the buff dude, at number 4 are still there. And now all of a sudden, it's like they should be moving on to the 4th game, but they don't. They have this big fucking reveal that like the girl number 4, who Violet, is the daughter of Marcus Massey, which makes they don't look anything alike. No. I don't know how he has an Aryan daughter. I digress.
Are you ready?
But then she like all of a sudden, oh no, there's a whole scene like where the dinosaurs are still chasing them around the building, I guess, right? And then Todd finds the armory. He doesn't have a gun, then he has a fucking shotgun. He blows one of the dinosaurs' heads off. Like it goes really nuts for him. So
remind me how number 7 went, because like that's the one I can't figure out.
Okay, that's Amanda. So basically, remember there's the scene. Then so Todd and Violet are together in the catacombs. Then they get separated, and Jen and Amanda are together in like the lobby again. Then Violet just shows up and just shoots Amanda in the fucking head.
Oh, that's right.
And that's when she makes the big reveal, like I'm the front man's daughter.
I was supposed to have an advantage. Those bastards always like playing sick jokes on me. Even as the daughter of the front man, there are certain rules to abide by.
Blah, blah, blah. And she's about to kill Jennifer, and then Todd shows up with the shotgun, and he's like, which one of you fired the gun? Meanwhile, you could see both of Jennifer's hands, and Violet has her hand behind her back. Hey, fucking genius. Which one of them has the fucking gun?
She saw Amanda, and then she said she was going to kill you and me. You're fucking lying. She killed Martha.
You tell me. You don't have to be an FBI. You don't have to go to Quantico to figure this shit out. I would have shot her in the goddamn head right away. But he hesitates because he can't figure out this conundrum. He gets winged in the shoulder. But just like in every friggin' Dinosaur Hotel movie, before the bad person can do anything, a raptor comes and saves the good guys and beats the fuck out of him. Yay! But we're down to our final 2 contestants. And even though like everything's falling apart and like crazy bullshit. And I'm leaving out all the eyes wide shut shit because who cares at this point?
Yeah.
We're down to our last 2 contestants. It's Todd, who, mind you, is like, he's yoked. He's like 6'4", it was like 6'3", 235 easy. He's a yoked dude. And Jennifer, who is like 110 pounds.
Wet.
Yeah. And the final game is they are tied together by a rope and they have to play a game of tug of war. Now, I don't believe that if Todd just goes absolute dead weight, Jennifer can move him at all, right? So there's the tug of war, and in the middle of the tug of war, the Tyrannosaurus is chained up. So he can eat whoever goes in the middle. Like a chain chomp in Super Mario World. He's right there in the middle, right? So in the beginning, Todd is winning because he is twice the size of this girl. I know he's been shot in the shoulder, but literally he doesn't even, he can beat her with one arm. And he's winning, and he's like, I'm sorry.
I have to see my daughter.
But then all of a sudden, Jennifer gets like,
Mama bear strength.
She gets the strength she gets Shazam strength all of a sudden, like, and then she just starts walking backwards, like. With no explanation of what happens. And this dude, Todd, who they've built up as the sympathetic character of the whole movie because he has a daughter who he doesn't see, and the dinosaur just fucking eats him. It's like, oh, okay. I guess, I mean, I know she's the main character, but Jesus. And then you're supposed to win $1 million. That's glossed over. She doesn't win shit. They just basically put her in the back of a van and dump her in the middle of nowhere.
That's after Eddie, and that's after we finally see Eddie get revealed. He takes off his goddamn mask, assuming it is Eddie, which I can only assume it is because he's actually drunk.
If there's any continuity, it's got to be Eddie. But he's a bad guy again now, and he makes her sign an NDA, and then they dump her in the middle of nowhere with no money, and then the movie just ends.
Yeah,
that's Dinosaur Hotel 3. I mean, if you're going to watch any Jagged Edge movie, just forget this is part 3. Watch this as a part 1. It's watchable. It's. I hate to say it. It's watchable. God damn it. Anyway, we'll hit them with their drink.
All right. Shout out to our lovely people at Bar GPT for this week's recipe here. I actually sent John the link this time, so we can actually link it in the comments.
I'll do that while you're talking.
Perfect. So because we talked about, because we were going on the Sawtooth rules, and because they kept saying the word salvation so many fucking times at the beginning of the film, I decided to search and found, and I kid you not, the Salvation Sipper. And here is the recipe. 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of freshly squeezed lime juice, 1 ounce of cranberry juice, 1 ounce of simple syrup, 3 to 4 fresh mint leaves, and a splash of sparkling water with ice. So, not an unfamiliar cocktail. There are many cocktails that are like this. But it still fits the theme, and honestly,
I'm going to throw out the first drinking game thing just before, and then you can jump on the next one.
Go for it.
Anytime a character gets from point A to point B, and you can't figure out how the fuck they got there, take a drink.
Oh, absolutely. Every single time you realize that they're just blatantly ripping off. We gave you 6 examples. I guarantee if you watch this film again, you'll see more.
Anytime it cuts to the scene of just the people wearing the masquerade outfits for no goddamn reason, and you don't understand why, and their dialogue is just stupid, and you don't understand why, just take a drink.
Take a sip every single time someone counts for no reason.
Yeah. Okay. This is gonna be a special game. Every time GLaDOS tells them that there's a minute left, pause the movie, set a timer, right? Set the timer for 1 minute. When the timer stops, start drinking until they tell you the minute has elapsed. You'll die because it's going to be 2 more minutes that you're drinking your drink.
That's very true. Whenever a dinosaur improbably just shows up.
Oh, okay. We forgot the best scene, which I'm going to put right here. Billy is just chilling in the lobby. Now, historically, in these Dinosaur Hotel movies, raptors stay inside the house. Tyrannosauruses stay outside the house. Somehow, this Tyrannosaurus jumps through this fucking atrium skylight that had never existed before. But it comes down from the atrium side. You see it fall like 4 stories, and it lands on Billy. That's a hero's exit. Billy got a hero's exit.
Oh yeah,
that was crazy. I cheered when that happened. I was like, yeah, let's fucking go, Jagged Edge, which I never do. So there we go. Winnie the Pooh money, baby.
Oh God. They didn't spend this is the I think I figured it out, John. This is the first time that they didn't spend money on shitty graphics. They spent it on a script. Maybe. I don't know.
I think they spent it on a person who was good at ad-libbing, because all the good stuff comes from the one dude, and there's no way they wrote that. If somebody wrote that, please take credit for it. Go ahead. But that guy, there's no way you wrote that guy's stuff. I don't believe that person.
Absolutely not.
And that's Dinosaur Hotel 3. Now, I don't know what we're doing next week. I mean, at some point in time, we will tackle the Tooth Fairy movies. But I don't know. Do you have any preferences what we do next week, Will?
I think it would be fun just to do like a random one-off before we tackle the next one, because if memory serves, Tooth Fairy is 4 movies, and I'm sure
it's 5.
It's 5.
You know what we're gonna do? I decided a long time ago, back when this was John Versus, we did cover Mega Lightning, and in the meantime, Mega Lightning 2 has come out. So next week we're gonna cover Mega Lightning 2 here on Versus. So until then, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Every Monday we're doing Versus. Every Thursday it's Why We Love Horror, and it is Horror Headlines. And then every Friday, Why We Love Horror Trivia. We appreciate you. My name is JWMaher, and that is Will Cohen, and this has been Versus.